Chant the first verse and then the second. 16th chapter. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
अथ षोडशोऽध्यायः.
अथ षोडशोऽध्यायः.
श्रीभगवानुवाच.
श्रीभगवानुवाच.
अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः.
अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः.
ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः.
ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः.
दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च.
दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च.
स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम्.
स्वाध्यायस्तपार्जवम्.
So till Dhamma we saw fearlessness, abhayam, sattva samshuddhi, purity of the mind. Then Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, abiding in the knowledge, meaning living with the higher vision. Dhanam is charity, Dhamma is sense mastery. Then Yajna. Yajna we have already covered in chapter 3. So Yajna is cooperative teamwork. So when we have to work with the teams, we have to be a team player and we have to consciously cultivate. And the teams are not only at the work, teams are in family, teams are everywhere. Groups of people, we have to work with groups of people. So one has to learn these skills at the earliest. And the way in which the team spirit is cultivated is that there must be one vision with which everybody identifies. The whole team shares a common vision. And they don't share a common vision just intellectually, they share a common vision emotionally. So the vision also is that which unites, for which they are ready to sacrifice any personal differences, come together. There is love and respect for the team members, the ability to sink differences and support the team members if they require any training or anything that is required to empower them. So in any field, whether we are in work, in our home, in a social service, wherever it is, teamwork is one of the important aspects which also shows the spiritual growth. It is one of the ways to put aside the ego, to work together in a team. But many times what happens is that working together in a team is not happening because the ego becomes very strong. So one always, though one is a part of a team, one is still playing as an individual only. So one feels that others are not doing their work. And it may be true, others are not doing. There are other ways to motivate them, inspire them, take them along. Or they are not listening to what I am saying. Or for small things, big issues are made. So when the individual ego comes out, then the team spirit is lost. Then we either start identifying with only I and then rest of the team is they. Or we form small groups. So one team will have like 4 or 5 groups. Because some few like-minded people will come together and then they'll start criticizing others. So then that yajna spirit is gone. Yajna spirit is where I am not more important, the cause is more important. For that I am ready to sink differences. For that I am ready to even understand where am I taking it personally, where am I going wrong. So when one introspects, then one will find out. So what is crucial is the vision and working together with love and respect. Different people are at different levels of evolution. So not everybody may have the same level of selflessness. But the people who have the selflessness, it is their duty to adjust more. Then team spirit happens. It is always going to be like that. The mature one has to adjust more. Otherwise, what is the use of the maturity of that person? If the mature one says, I will not adjust, then the mature one is becoming immature. Because if the vision is dear to me, then I will do it. If I and you, in that who is greater, who has to be doing every time, if that is more important, then the vision suffers. So dhanam dhamascha yajnascha. Then comes swadhyaya. So swadhyaya, different meanings it has. One is study what is happening around, be updated with the latest things that are happening so that one is knowledgeable and can move with the times. Second, Swadhyaya, study the lives of great leaders, inspiring personalities, derive inspiration from that. Third is Swadhyaya is Swa, means one's own mind. Swadhyaya means studying one's own mind, observing, whether it is through introspection or through observation, witness, anything. Observe the mind, that how my mind responds, what are my likes, what are my dislikes. And to help us to do that, scriptural study also is called Swadhyaya. Because when we observe the mind, introspect, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate, to weed out the harmful things, to strengthen the positives, to train the mind to think about subtler aspects, all that the Shastra gives the guidance. So simple meaning of Swadhyaya is study. But study what? Study scripture, study one's own mind. Ultimately, the purpose is to know my own true self. Through the study of this empirical personality, it is to understand who am I truly. So that's what Svadhyaya is. And also study the people around. If you are in a team, then study and observe that what is it that keeps the team together, what inspires the team, what is that which makes it, what is that which is causing divisions. Observe, understand people, fine-tune the work according to that. So Swadhyaya. Then Tapa. Tapa means focused effort, or any effort taken to go beyond my comfort zone, that is called as tapas. So tap, effort to rise higher, and pat means to fall. The opposite of tap is pat, pat's to fall. So comfort zone is that which binds us completely. In the 17th chapter there will be different types of tapas which will come. Body level, speech level, mind level. These three, what are covered in the first verse here in 16th chapter, Bhagavan will elaborate in the 17th chapter, and again in the 18th also he will speak that Yajna, Dana and Tapa, they should not be ignored. They are the duties of everyone. Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma, not Tyajyam, Karyameva Tat. One should not drop these. One should do it regularly, every day. Yajna, Dana and Tapa. So more we will take up at that time, but one meaning of tapas is to rise higher. Second meaning of tapas as per Yoga Shastra is single pointedness or concentration. Aikagyam paramam tapaha. Supreme tapas is concentration. To do one thing at a time. To do anything with full attention. Psychology calls it attention trading. Spirituality calls it single pointedness. Same thing it is. So wholehearted work with complete involvement and absorption, that is called tapas. And then the third meaning of tapas is concentrated effort to achieve one's vision and the goal. Till the goal is not achieved, the focus remains on that. Any amount of obstacles come, one overcomes. So that is called as tapas. Swadhyaya, tapa and arjava. So arjava means simplicity and straightforwardness. The word Arjun comes from that, simplicity. Ruju means simple, straightforward. not something inside, something else outside. Duryodhana was like that. He was not ritu, he was not straight. He had fear inside, but he went to Dronacharya and he taunted his teacher and he came back. He didn't ask that, please help me, I want to get out of this stress or this fear or this insecurity. So he was something else inside, but he portrayed as though he was very strong. He went and taunted his own teacher and came. But Arjun was feeling emotionally overwhelmed. So he went out to Sri Krishna and he surrendered. He did not have a problem even if tears were coming in his eyes. So many examples of people who were simple and straightforward. Somebody went to the office of J.R.D. Tata and he had just it was a simple table which was there with some few pens and one sofa for the visitor. Nothing fancy in his room. And they asked him, you are heading such a big company, you don't have anything now. He said, that's what I have what I need, I don't need anything more than that. Narayana Murthy, they asked him a few years back. He used to live in some simple bungalow, not bungalow, one flat in Bangalore somewhere. They said, you don't have your own bungalow? He said, my needs are minimum. It suffices with this flat. So, simple examples. Very simple, humble, straightforward. So, this is first verse. 9 qualities in the first verse. And remember, these qualities are the divine qualities. Meaning, when these qualities are there, the life here is divine and the person experiences that divinity. This further it continues. Ahimsa satyam akrodha Tyaga Shantirapaishunam Daya Bhuteshvalolutvam Mardavam Hrirachapalam. So ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-violence. Non-violence at physical level, for survival, whatever minimum violence is happening by default, that cannot be avoided, but no other violence at physical level. More non-violence is at the mental level actually. Because mentally we hurt, harm. Generally we always consider violence only towards other people. Even mentally we say that don't hurt people in your mind, don't think negative thoughts about them, don't condemn them in the mind. But first and foremost, non-violence has to be applied towards ourselves. Because when we are violent with ourselves, then only we can be violent with others. If we are non-violent with ourselves, we will be non-violent towards others. When we think negative thoughts, when we have destructive thoughts, when we have low self-opinion, when we feel insecure, we are hurting and harming ourselves first. Then only I can hurt and harm somebody else. So non-violence is first to be practiced on myself. Mentally, I should not be hurting myself. When we compromise, we know what is right, we don't do that, and we know what is wrong and we do that. We are hurting ourselves. We are creating a split in the personality. We know what is the truth, but we speak the falsehood. We are hurting ourselves. Like that, many instances. When we hurt ourselves, we feel bad, we feel guilty, we condemn ourselves, we get angry with ourselves, all that is violence. When we push ourselves out of our nature, in the sense, not pushing out of comfort zone, but what I am not made for, I try to do that. Again, I am hurting myself. So when we hurt ourselves more and more, a society where individuals are hurting themselves more and more, how will that society be non-violent outside? That will express somewhere or the other in conflict in relationships, in hurts in relationships, in some form of disturbance, riots, verbal abuse, so many things will happen. So first and foremost, non-violence will be practiced on ourselves. What all am I doing which is hurting me? Even at the food level. What suits my body, am I taking that? What doesn't suit, am I avoiding that? So it's not only at thought level, predominantly at thought level, but even in my individual personality at the body level. Am I consuming things which are hurting, harming? Am I indulging in speech which is hurting, harming? So when we start analyzing, if I eliminate those factors, my heart will be filled with love, filled with happiness. Automatically I will be non-violent. So how to practice non-violence is not to say that I don't become violent, I won't become violent, I will not hurt anybody. How to become non-violent is fill the heart with love. Then non-violence will happen. Towards oneself also, and then obviously towards other people. So self-love becomes the basis for non-violence. So when we say that I am sending out vibrations of love to the whole universe, may nobody be miserable. When we say sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, that is born out of a heart which is filled with love. That my heart is filled with so much of love that I want only good for everybody, including me. Survey means me also. Survey doesn't mean that I suffer and that let everybody be happy. Survey means only I am included in that. So the more my heart is filled with this love, the more non-violent I will be. And certain aspect of non-violence, when we understand very well that this is predominantly at the mental level, at physical level it is impossible to live at non-violence 100%. Minimum himsa will happen. Wherever we need to control it, we will control and we should control. So negative thoughts, wrong intentions, cunningness, manipulation, all that is violence. Whether it is towards oneself or towards others. Now in this context, there was one question that was asked to Gurudev about food, which a lot of people ask, about vegetarianism. So there is a nice extract of that. You will see that. So are we still not destroying life? Also, where the religion is going to talk about that lie or spiritual peace. And that through telescope or microscope you will get the yoga like a pretty on it. Which is very everybody knows that. It is a scientific problem, you will sit down and think. Religion problem. All vegetarians or plants are also our living, and yet we kill and eat the plant. So are we still not destroying life? Also, we were sick, and it is good to get it. Those who talk about the living in the world. So is that right for vegetarians? And through telescope or microscope, if you look, we get that yoga as of living beings on it. Is it everybody does that thing. If it's a scientific problem, you listen down the thing. Religion problem, you can God made two mistakes. Number one, He created you. No problem. That's what I meant. Number two, you and I cannot live without Him. There's one more thing. Suppose eating is not necessary, it's only a luxury. How beautiful it would be. The song of starvation never ever, but He made that mistake. No problem. I cannot eat myself. What happened to your thumb? Very hungry. It's not an accident, I was very hungry. You cannot eat yourself. These are known facts. That everybody must eat. You survive. And you cannot eat yourself. Therefore, there's only choice. I must eat something other than me. Something other than me, what can I eat? There are only four things to eat. There is no fifth thing possible. Stone, plant, animal, other human beings. Other than the four, can you tell me anything that I can eat? I have to eat yourself, that is eliminated. I have to eat something other than me. There are only four things available for me. Think. All these four, stone I cannot eat because I can't digest. We know how to eat a man. Two problems in the world is solved at one stroke. Food problem, solved. Population problem, solved. One program, two problems solved. But we can't eat. So our fathers, good old days, in the caveman time, they used to eat. But now we are unfortunately developed into such a civilization that we may kill others, but we will not eat. Next day will be, I will not kill also. That is after the whole world has become vegetarian. Then chances are that war may end because I will not kill. At this moment it is not there. Kill I will. I've stopped eating. Now the choice is to black or animal. In your, let us say, prayers, what do you call it? Very good question. Ballot. In your ballot, there is $100. Right? K and the tree, $1. This is what you have got. An old friend of yours, or a classmate of yours, or a man comes and claims that he has been a classmate of yours in the high schools, and even while he is talking, whiffs of dreams are coming into you. He is unemployed, useless fellow. He claims that he is classmate. He very lovingly and expectantly look at you and says, I'm in trouble with someone. You open your life. Now tell me as an intelligent man, what will you part with? Assuming that you are average intelligent, it's an assumption.
You will not give the bar with $100 too much. $1 how can I give up 20 days to your classmate and $1 should be good. Now you have 3 choices. Quantity, 10, 12. What will you do, please? So let that stupid. What you do that? It's decent enough. I take the 5 and pass it on to him and say that hereafter, my friend, never to do. And that is very private. Not looking at somebody else, somewhere else, so that nobody may know that I am howling at him. Here is the first and the last contribution. Remember, in the same way, in this mighty cosmos I have arrived. I have to survive, then I must eat. There are only 4 things to eat. Always 2 of them are not available for me to eat today. One is because of my biological insufficiency. If only I can digest stones, all mountains would be flattened within a century. Everybody will start munching. They are all standing there without being disturbed only because they cannot be eaten. And man, I can't, because our culture is so developed and evolved. Then there are now 2 things. Right. And that I want to make the minimal disturbance in the world for my mate. Which will I do? Both are allowed. Admit itself. Your argument is acceptable. Being a discriminating animal, man is expected to survive himself to the barest minimum. Which will I take? Animal, number 1, more evolved. And therefore more conscious. While the plant is not so conscious. Therefore I take the plant. Animal is living in the life of or in a condition of local anesthesia, while the plant is living in total chloroform condition. They are not conscious of the outer, but only conscious of the water and the sunlight. Therefore, these theory is eliminated. Even that is an annihilation of life, I admit so. But the choice. And that is the reason why in every religion there is an insistence that before you eat, pray. And that prayer has become so stupid. Oh Lord, don't forget to give me tomorrow also my daily bread. You are a busy man, I know. So don't forget that I want every day. Today's daily bread I got it. But don't continue giving me. Yeah, flat. There is no inspiration. Until again when I pray, oh Lord, I realize that here are the living beings that have made a sacrifice that I may survive. Make my life so rich and meaningful that their sacrifice is not wasted. So then I will never overeat. Why? I am destroying my life. I get it meaning, and I give life more and more responsible. Why? More people are sacrificed that I may live. So my life must be so chaste and beautiful that even they must get their share of the glory. the countrymen have made so much of sacrifices, then the government comes, that government must be responsible too. Even those who have made their lives in order to have this freedom, you must make the life more precious or more glorious for the people. Thus there is always prayer before it. And we are chicken, leg, leg. That chicken in the villages, every home has got its backyard. And there the mother every day goes and feeds them. And the feeding time, she makes a noise, a special noise. And the poultry with their little chicks. The mother comes and all the chicks also want, because they already know that this sound means food. They come with great gratitude. They go on pecking all around with one eye looking at this benevolent mother of the family who is so kind to feed them. Okay. In the service. That thoughtless woman, heartlessly, Sunday morning, and when the mother the little one is talking about and teaching them how to scratch and get at the words, teaching them the lives mission. The mother comes in and hi, with what ardor, with what sincere love and reverence. You can see the reverence now because gratitude. Run to the lady. The lady strokes the hand. And you see that this is the hand that has made me jump on the hand. It is then that you catch the hand. Heartless men. Don't the world need any atom bomb? Roast you all into pieces for such ungrateful thing. Now the poor mother again eats the neck. Why? She will not harm me. She is rather rough, no doubt. Then she too late understands that, it is going to kill me, heartless woman. Then you think it's not what is happening to me? And she takes the dead one inside. And the children wonder. The mother doesn't love us, only this one they love. My mother also, they start going away. Heartlessness. This is what Russia and China, in Germany they were doing. Late in the night, the police comes and takes the father of the mother away, and they never see them again. You are the family. What is your will? It's not to say the father for those investments you have. Your deputy in hot water, remove the feather, cut it open, remove everything inside, and then you cook your rice and your meat and put it inside. Fry it with the spring, cook it with the gravy, and burn it. And that animal insults your human intelligence by showing the thumb. Next time when you see the chicken in your table, you look at the thumb. Eat, rascal, eat. Heartless brute. This is a civilization. There is more civilization among us than one. See, really is becoming a thing about it. All this for what? To tickle 1.5 inch of your tongue. 1.5 inch. Why 1 inch? So a lot of people have got broader one, 2 inches. 1.5 inch by 2 inches an area in your physical body to tickle the. How long? 50 seconds. No mouthful of food remains in the mouth more than 50. Outside the lip it has no taste. Down the throat it has no taste. Only the 50 seconds. When the mouth and lips and the tongue is rolling with that meat, I love that, I love it. Meaning, put that joy in life. What right have you to take anything from life, from the world, which you cannot repay back? Can you give life back again? Can take it. Finger lick. Yeah. So then when you have created your hell, or the so-called hell, that hell can only think in terms of killing others. How can there be peace in the world? So long as non-vegetarian, just practicing killing and eating for your own pleasure. You don't want a mind where the half of the world is blasted, so that the other half can comfortably live. Same heartlessness, same barbarism. What difference is there that those barbarians ate people and we didn't eat them? No, sorry. Anda you can eat. Only, I'm not killing any animal. The eggs can be eaten. Walking human beings you should not eat because after all it's cannibalism. But in the children in the womb, you can eat them. But they are not human beings. You can't with them. See how we compromise when you want. That's certain thing. Our intellect gives you arguments. Swamiji, this is another kind of egg. What is that kind of egg? Yes, yes. Such eggs come out from everyone once a month. Huh? That can be eaten, isn't it? What do we argue with? What you wanted, only shamelessly. Why do you want to justify? It's a vegetarian egg. It's more savoury, salt than the other eggs. Think. Similarly. And thus eating and eating, we have become, the equality is also changed. The balance has got lost in nature. Never mind, so what is it that you are? Yes, vegetarians, vegetables also have got life. Yes. So that even that is a sin. Therefore you start praying and then eat.
So the purpose why Gurudev was saying that is to make us more sensitive. Each individual's choice what they do. But this is what the scripture says, this is what the great masters have said, to become more sensitive towards life itself. Ahimsa is that, where we do minimum violence, unavoidable violence. Even that ahimsa even that himsa that we do actually, unconsciously, to repay for that we have to do pancha mahayajnas. If you remember in third chapter, I had spoken about that. 5 types of yajnas an individual has to do to compensate for the loss of life that results by our existence. Deva yajna, Pitru yajna, Bhuta yajna, Nira yajna, and Deva, Pitru, Manushya, Bhuta, and one more. Rishi yajna. 5. Rishi yajna. 5. These 5 one has to do. Then comes Satyam. 3 aspects are the most important foundation for Sanatana Dharma are Satyam, Ahimsa and Brahmacharya. So Ahimsa we just saw. What is Satyam? That which remains uncontradicted is called Satyam. Which remains same, yesterday, today, tomorrow. That is called Satyam. In the relative world also, if we keep changing, then we don't know what is the truth. We keep contradicting it. So the definition of truth is that which remains uncontradicted. Abhajita, Trikala Abhajita Vastu is called as truth. Even at the absolute level, that which is changeless in 3 periods of time, that is called as Satyam. Now as a value when we practice in our daily life, what is Satyam? Satyam is intellectual honesty or integrity, where we stand for certain ideals and we don't compromise. What we know is right, we don't compromise at all, even a little bit. That uncompromising commitment to certain values and certain way of life, that is called as Satyam. Very famous saying says, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. So what are those values which are very, very dear to me, which I will not compromise with, which are fundamental to my life? Uncompromisingly I hold on to that. That capability in the buddhi is called Satyam. Now at different levels we will apply this Satyam. First is at the thought level, what we speak or what we just discussed. One is to be true to oneself, not to pretend, not to imitate, not to do paradharma. So to be who I am, to be what I am made for, that is Satyam. Even if the whole world is taking something else, doing something else, and I have to walk some other path, but I am made for that, then I have to do that. Then I am being true to myself. Then living by the intellectual conviction. That is Satyam at the thought level. Satyam at the feeling level. Sadbhavana is the positive feelings for all without any hatred and expressing what one feels without the dichotomy of thinking something else and expressing something else. Then that is Sadbhavana. Positive thoughts for all, good feelings for all. Then comes Satvani, speak the truth. This will come again in 17th chapter also. Speak the truth, speak for benefit, speak lovingly. Satyam vada, hitam vada, priyam vada. And hitam vadas, very important. Speak in measured words. Not one word extra, not one word less. Measured words. And keep up your word. When we give a word to somebody, we keep it up. Both Ramayana and Mahabharata, one of the learnings is that the word which is given has to be kept up. Then only it is truthful. If Bhagavan Rama had come back from the forest, whole Ayodhya has gone, Bharat has gone, Kaikeyi has gone, all the mothers have gone, Vasishtha Rishi has gone, everybody has gone to call him back. He could have easily come back, saying that everybody wants me to come back and my father is no more, so I should just come back. But he didn't come back because he said the word that the father has given has to be kept up and it is fulfilled only when I go to forest for 14 years And that is not enough. Bharat, you also have to rule, because Bharat said, I will also be with you in the forest. He said, no. The word that the father has given has two conditions. And both have to be fulfilled. So that is called keeping up the word. And people who keep up the word that they give, they also cultivate what we call as Vak Siddhi. What they speak will also come true. Because there is integrity in their character, there is strength in their personality, that they have the power, that their words will carry power. Especially when we are teachers, we are parents, this power is very important. Because when we keep up the word, then our words have an impact to transform the minds of others also, touch the lives of others. Because we ourselves are doing that. So Satvani. So Satyam at intellectual level, Satyam at feeling level, Satyam at speech level, and Satyam at behavior level is Satyavrata, action level. So what is Satyavrata? Vrata means to take up an oath, vow, that will help to develop. It's one form of tapas, to develop willpower. So upvas, Maun Vrat, Swadhyay, anything which I am attached to, I say I for some time I will not indulge in that. That develops willpower. That helps the person to overcome fickleness of the mind, overcome some likes and dislikes. The personality becomes very strong. Same thing, keep up the promises even at the action level. So if there is one value which has to be chosen amongst all, now there are 20 of them here, amongst all the 20 there is one value which has to be chosen, that one value is Satya. Our national emblem also says what? Satyameva Jayate. From where is this line coming? It is only 1/4 of a shloka, mantra actually. Not even 1/4, it is one part. It comes from Mundaka Upanishad. Satyameva Jayate na anritam. The truth alone wins, not falsehood. Satyena pantha vitato devayana. Through the path of the truth, people have discovered the divine. So truth is considered very, very important in spiritual evolution especially. One may say that others are not truthful, why should I be truthful? But we are truthful not for others' sake, we are truthful for our sake. Because we want integrity of character, we want this capability to rise beyond the BMI. Hence we must have that capability to hold on to the truth. Because truth comes with us every time. Every moment what remains with us is the truth. Falsehood, we compromise ourselves, we split our personality. And what we gain through falsehood is temporary, it won't even remain. So the wise seeker will always hold on to the truth. And then comes Sad Achar. Sadachar is honest and steadfast to fulfill one's duties, loves everyone but loves truth above all, will not compromise from truth for anybody's sake. Krishna Bhagavan taught that lesson to Bhishma. Bhishma was truthful to the oath he took, no doubt he was Satyavrata. But when it came to the Mahabharata war, when Dharma only is in danger, when Satya is in danger, our commitment is not to the person who is on the throne, our commitment is to the truth. But Bhishma did not do that. He stuck to his oath and he was fighting from the Kaurava side. 10 days the war went on because of Bhishma. First 10 days Bhishma was alive and so much massacre he caused, he destroyed so many of the Pandava warriors. And he has Ichha Mrityu Vardhan, so he cannot die. Finally, on the 9th day, when And when Duryodhana on 8th evening he tells Bhishma that you are there and how come the Pandavas are still alive? You are not fighting with your full heart. So he takes an oath. He says either I will be alive or Arjun will be alive tomorrow. But he puts a condition there, saying if Krishna doesn't do any mischief. And the next day he fights, fiercely he fights. And he aims an arrow at the forehead of Arjun, and the arrow would have killed Arjun actually. But luckily Krishna ducks the horses and the arrow hits the crown and Arjun is saved. And Krishna gets very angry because Arjun is still not fighting with his full heart. He has some moha towards his grandfather. So Krishna jumps out of the chariot, lifts a wheel and charges at Bhishma. Bhishma surrenders, he stops fighting after that. But that episode, Krishna taught Bhishma the fact that Krishna broke his own individual oath for the sake of dharma. Our commitment is to dharma, is not to any individual. He had given an oath that he will not lift weapons and he will not fight. But when it is lifted and you charge at somebody with that, it becomes a weapon. And your intention is to charge, so already you are fighting. So you have broken the oath. But that's what he showed there. So our commitment to the truth is more than our commitment to anybody else because every other relationship is temporary. So Satya, Sadachar is that. The power of truth and goodness should never be undermined. We generally undermine the power of truth. We think that people who are truthful are weak, people who are truthful are, they are left at the mercy of people who can exploit them or anybody can take advantage of them. But people who are truly truthful and good are people who are very strong actually. So Satyam, Ahimsa Satyam, Akrodha, absence of anger. Again, anger is not a sign of power, anger is a sign of weakness. Because I can't control the situation, so I am getting angry. Some desire of mine is not fulfilled and I am very disturbed, as a result anger is coming out. So the key is when the anger comes, at that moment if I am able to just withhold, then it will just pass. To withhold I need a stabilizer. What are the stabilizers? So many it can be. One aspect is to just postpone that moment decision making, saying, yeah, I will not respond now, I will respond after some time. Delay the response, don't deny. Second is, tell yourself to quieten down. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be peaceful. No, but the mind is very disturbed and agitated. Again and again tell that, Shanti, Shanti, be peaceful. Invoke empathy. Try to see from other person's standpoint. Why did they do something? We may not know their standpoint at all and we may be very disturbed. But the moment we know, then our mind can become quiet. Or hold on to the breath. Something which I hold on to and let the impulsive anger pass. Or take a mantra and walk. Walk swiftly, chanting the mantra, focusing on the breathing and walking. So walking, breathing, chanting, synchronizing all the three. That mantra walk can help a lot. And when a person has practiced that, at that moment when anger comes, the mantra starts immediately. So the thoughts which would have otherwise gone to fuel that anger more and more, they are diverted to mantra. Slowly when the mind has become quiet, again I can relook at the situation, my whole perception will be very different. So some stabilizers, one can cultivate anything, any such stabilizer that one wants. What are the deeper causes of anger? There are many. Attachment is the root cause of anger. But sometimes it is also that we take things very personally and we get very easily hurt. So when we get attached, we take things personally, then it is not about the issue, it is about I. Example there, if my idea is rejected, I feel rejected. It's just an idea which was rejected. I take it personally, then I feel rejected. If my child doesn't listen to me, it is not the child not listening to me. It is the child not listening to me. When I am saying something, the child is not listening. So when we take something personally, then we get more disturbed. And today small things happen in which we take it very personally. Somebody is driving a vehicle and going, and the person who is driving behind is not able to overtake. This person takes it very personally, saying, as well as wanted, he is not allowing me to go front. He is just driving straight. But our frustration is so much many times that we start taking things personally where there is nothing intended also. One WhatsApp is sent and then no reply comes. Again one takes it personally. Not giving me enough attention. Then these issues happen with anger, irritability, all that. So, akrodha, tyaga, ahimsa, satyam, akrodha. Akrodha is absence of anger. Even in the 5th chapter it comes, 3 sure gateways to hell are kama, krodhas, tatha, lobha. Selfishness, anger and greed, they are doorways to hell. Tasmad etatrayam tyajet, hence drop it. This is a nice clip. You just see how the anger breeds in this.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Okay, buddy.
But are you sure that we can't have it clean up?
No, I think we're gonna be great.
Yes.
So nice to talk, but we got
Oh,
it.
such fun.
Great.
I love you.
Great to see you. And thank you so much, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Love you too.
I'm gonna go do the dishes.
Cool.
It'd be nice if you help me.
No problem. You did a little bit later, I see the street circle.
Gary, come on, I don't want to do them later. Let's just do them now. Take 15 minutes.
Oh, I am so exhausted. I just honestly want to relax for a little bit. If I could just sit here, let my food digest, just try and enjoy the quiet for a little bit. Get some. That's what happens. And we will clean the dishes tomorrow.
Gary, you know I don't like waking up to a dirty kitchen.
Cheers.
I care, all right? I care. I busted my ass all day cleaning this house and then cooking that meal, and I worked today. It would be nice if you said thank you and helped me with the dishes.
Fine. I'll help you do the damn dishes.
Oh, come on. You know what? No, that's not what I want.
You just said that you want me to help you do the dishes.
I want you to want to do the dishes.
Why would I want to do dishes? Why?
See, that's my whole point.
Let me see if I'm following this. Are you telling me that you're upset because I don't have a strong desire to clean dishes?
No, I'm upset because you don't have a strong desire to offer to do the dishes.
I just did.
After I asked you.
Jesus, Brooke, you're acting crazy.
Don't you call me crazy. I am not crazy.
I didn't call you crazy. I didn't call you crazy. No, I didn't. I said you're acting crazy.
You know what, Gary? I asked you to do one thing today, one very simple thing, to bring me 12 lemons, and you brought me 3.
If I knew that it was going to be this much trouble, I would have brought home 24 lemons. Even 100 of them. You know what I wish? I wish everyone that was at that goddamn table had their own little private bag of lemons.
Gary, it's not about the lemons.
Well, that's all you're talking about.
I'm just saying it'd be nice if you did things that I asked. It would be even nicer if you did things without me having to ask you.
I do seem to remember doing something for you this morning without you asking.
Gary, come on.
I'm
You know what?
serious.
No, I'm serious. I really am. Come on, you knew I was working today and I made that meal and you could have thought to yourself, you know, you could have said, yeah, I think I'm going to get Brooke some flowers.
You said from the very first day that you don't like flowers. They're a waste of money.
Your girl likes flowers, Gary.
You said that you don't like flowers. I'm supposed to take that to mean that you like flowers?
No, it's not about, you're not getting it. You're not getting it, Gary. Okay, it's not about the lemons, it's not about the flowers, it's not about the dishes. It's just about how many times do I have to
No, Joe. It's a light bill. I just did a sweat. The whole thing. I do it. What the hell's the goddamn light bill gonna end? Gonna ban ballet.
It's not about you loving the ballet, Gary. It's about the person that you love loves the ballet, and you spend time with that person.
Not about the ballet?
Okay, forget the ballet. Forget the ballet. We don't go anywhere together.
You just went to Ann Arbor together.
To Ann Arbor, to the Michigan Notre Dame game. You think screaming drunk kids and leprechauns doing backflips, that's fun. That's fun for me. Come on, man. I did that for you. How do you show up for me?
I'm up on the bus every goddamn day for you.
Come on.
I'm busting up to be the best tour guide in the damn city so I can make enough money to support both of us, and hopefully you won't have to work one day.
I want to work.
All I ask, Brooke, is that you show a little bit of appreciation. That I just sit 20 minutes to relax when I come home instead of being attacked with questions and nag the whole damn time.
You think that I nag you?
That's all you do! All you do is nag me. The bathroom's a mess. Your belt doesn't match. Hey, Gil, you should probably go work out. Nothing I ever do is ever good enough. I just want to be left the hell alone.
Really? Is that what you want, Gary? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Fine, great, do whatever the hell you want. You leave your socks all over this house, dress like a pig, play your stupid video game, I don't care, I'm done.
What?
I am done! I don't deserve this, I really do not deserve this. I deserve somebody who gives it. I'm not spending one more second of this life with some inconsiderate...
So what is our learning out of this? What? Do the dishes. You're not getting the point. You should have the want to do the dishes without asking.
People consider towards the person.
So many of these, what we just saw, teamwork, empathy, appreciation, anger, it is at that moment. Each one is thinking to do what they want to do. Each one could have let go and then the other would have come, joined. But each one is insisting. And then when the fight happens, the issue is on the side. Something is there. The whole past, suppression, everything comes out. And how many minutes this was? 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes. The key is that much only, that in those 5 minutes, if I know to hold back for those 5 minutes or channelize that 5 minutes properly, that emotion that arises, the whole thing is over in 5 minutes, and after that they both regret, oh God, what happened. The movie is called Breakup, and they break up. Over. The whole movie is only that. They got together and then they broke up. Story is that much only. But the scene what they have made here, typically that's what happens in any angry situation. The whole build-up comes up, empathy is not there, appreciation is not there, each one sticks to their point. Then the relationship gets strained. So akrodha is this, where we see, where we empathize, where we broaden our angle, where we accommodate. And see in time, understand the opposite person, many of those. Ahimsa, Satyam, Akrota. Then Tyaga. Tyaga is sacrificing the lower for the higher. Compromise is giving up the higher for the lower. So if I want to achieve anything great, sacrifice is unavoidable. When we don't understand the importance of sacrifice, then comfort enslaves us fully. And hence very important, even in our flag if we see what is on the top, the orange color represents the color of sacrifice. Whether it's a material achievement or protection for the country or a financial achievement or a spiritual achievement, even a physical achievement of health, at any level, any achievement I want, I have to learn to sacrifice. It won't work without that. And sacrifice becomes spontaneous when I love the goal. Then whatever is not conducive to reach the goal, I will let it go. And there is no pain involved in that. If I really love the goal. The pain is involved because of some attachment. So sacrifice transforms even pain into joy in the sense that one can bear with the pain if it is, suppose a martyr has sacrificed the life, then the family bears with the pain because they still love the country and they feel honored that my son or this person from my family gave up the life for the sake of the country. The pain may be there, but still the pride is there that the country was protected, saved. Forced sacrifice is painful, not inspired sacrifice. So if sacrifice is becoming painful, then that means I am not inspired or I don't love the goal more than my own attachment. How much the parents sacrifice for the children to grow up. How much a teacher sacrifices for the student. How much the nature is sacrificing for us. If you see in this whole world, it is sustained by sacrifice, not by compromise. Tyaga. Shanti is quietude of the mind. This is a saying by Meher Baba. A very nice saying. Fast mind is a sick mind, meaning a psychologically fast mind, chattering always, analyzing, thinking, branding, labeling. It's a sick mind because it dissipates energy. Slow mind is a sound mind. When the thought quantity reduces, it is still stronger. But a still mind is a divine mind. So calmness of the mind is the foundation for happiness, for creativity, for love, for meditation, shanti. Even in the world outside, to achieve any prosperity, peace is important. If continuously there are riots and problems and all that, how progress will happen? There are so many countries which are just riot struck every time, strife torn completely. Hardly any progress can happen there because people are constantly in war, in fight. So prosperity will not happen even externally if there is no peace. So how do I practice calmness? Solitude, if you can practice few minutes a day, be by yourself. Prayer is meant to be for that, meditation is meant to be for that. Where I am away from people, away from technology, few moments, quiet in the mind. There's an app called Be Calm. 2017 app of the year, Apple declared the app of the year is Be Calm. And what is that app? So there's a picture of rainfall and some leaves. 15 seconds you are supposed to leave everything and only see that. Why see it on phone? Might as well go out and see it. But it is there. The app is called Be Calm. Whichever way, it doesn't matter. Even with that app, my mind can become quite great. Sometime I need to take out. Do nothing for just 5 minutes. No action, no thinking. Just 5 minutes. Practice anything that makes you calm. Just now what we spoke, a mantra or a deep breathing or music or anything which makes me quieten down. Especially if I'm angry, if I'm agitated, how to quieten down. I must have a certain means to bring my mind to calmness whenever it gets agitated or disturbed. And I should practice that regularly so that when I need it at that time it comes to my rescue. Apaishuna is non-gossip. Speech gets impure when we do gossip. When we speak the name of the Lord, when we speak positive, inspiring, selfless things, loving things, speech gets purified. So critical feedback is different from gossip, obviously. Everybody knows that. Mantra in Ramayana, she gossiped. And Kaikeyi did not even verify. She believed. When Mantra said that Dashrath Maharaj loves Kaushalya more than you, finished. Started, the pull down first started. And she built up her case also so strongly that he has announced the coronation of Ram as the prince when Bharat is not here, this is the conspiracy against you, all that she built up in her head. So gossip, when we entertain gossip, our mind gets polluted. We become more insecure. So that's what there's a hierarchy. A bore talks about himself, a gossip talks about others, dull ones talk about people, mediocre talk about events, but the best one talk about ideas and ideals. So what do I do with my speech? How do I use it? Especially gossip must definitely be avoided. We speaking gossip to be avoided, and company of people who are gossiping, that also has to be avoided. If we do that, our mind will be a lot at peace. Let the time be used for more inspiring ideas and ideals. Daya Bhutesh. Daya is compassion. Empathy for someone suffering and actively contributing to alleviate it. Daya is not passive compassion, where I just pity. Pity is passive compassion. Daya is active compassion, where I feel the suffering of somebody and then I want to do something to eliminate and I do what I can. Like Gurudev felt that the Hindu culture is declining and he was very moved that why is this glorious culture in this condition? Samskritir Vikshyahanumcha Bharatasya cha dusthitim. He felt that the condition of India and the culture is declining. Dravitam hridayam yasya. His heart was moved. So then what did he do? Nishkriya karuna kvapi sapalana bhavishyati. Passive compassion is never successful. So he actively engaged in action to revive this culture. So if I feel compassion for anything, suppose anyone is poor, not having food, not having money, not having education, somebody is sick, suffering, disease. When I feel compassion, then what do I do in my own way to help? In whichever capacity I can. I may not be able to alleviate poverty of the whole world, but to some people, then that is active compassion. Daya is also towards other people when they make mistake. Have compassion to forgive. It will come ahead as forgiveness. So Gurudev always said, while handling yourself, use your head, meaning be very critical and objective, but while handling others, use the heart. Be kind, be compassionate, be empathetic. Daya. Now that kindness and compassion is also towards creatures, environment, everything around us. It's not only towards those who are suffering. It's also towards sensitivity towards the beings around us.
Dear future generations, I think I speak for the rest of us when I say, sorry. Sorry we left you with our mess of a planet. Sorry that we were too caught up in our own doings to do something. Sorry we listened to people who made excuses to do nothing. I hope you forgive us. We just didn't realize how special the earth was. Like a marriage gone wrong, we didn't know what we had until it was gone. For example, I'm guessing you probably know it as the Amazon desert. right? Well, believe it or not, it was once called the Amazon rainforest, and there were billions of trees there, all of them gorgeous, and oh, you don't know much about trees, do you? Well, let me tell you, trees are amazing. I mean, we literally breathe the air they are creating. They clean up our pollution, our carbon. They store and purify water, give us medicine that cures our diseases, food that feeds us, which is why I'm so sorry to tell you that we burn them down, cut them down with brutal machines, horrific, at a rate of 40 football fields every minute. That's 50% of all the trees in the world gone in the last 100 years. Why? For this. And that wouldn't make me so sad if it weren't so many pictures of leaves on it. You know, when I was a child, I read how the Native Americans had such consideration for the planet that they felt responsible for how they left the land for the next 7 generations. Which brings me great sorrow, because most of us today don't even care about tomorrow. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we put profit above people, greed above need, the rule of gold above the golden rule. I'm sorry we use nature as a credit card with no spending limit, overdrafting animals to extinction, stealing your chance to ever see their uniqueness or become friends with them. Sorry we poison the ocean so much that you can't even swim in them. But most of all, I'm sorry about our mindset, because we had the nerve to call this destruction progress. Hey Fox News, if you don't think climate change is a threat, I dare you to interview the thousands of homeless people in Bangladesh. See, while you were in your penthouse nestled, their homes were literally washed away beneath their feet due to rising sea levels. And Sarah Palin, you said that you love the smell of fossil fuels. Well, I urge you to talk to the kids of Beijing who are forced to wear pollution masks just to go to school. See, you can ignore this, but the thing about truth is, it can be denied, not avoided. So I'm sorry, future generations. I'm sorry that our footprint became a sinkhole and not a garden. I'm sorry that we paid so much attention to ISIS and very little to how fast the ice is melting in the Arctic. I'm sorry we doomed you, and I'm sorry we couldn't find another planet in time to move to. You know what? Cut the beat. I'm not sorry. This future, I do not accept it. Because an error does not become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. We can redirect this. How? Let me suggest that if a farmer sees a tree that is unhealthy, they don't look at the branches to diagnose it, they look at the root. So like that farmer, we must look at the root, and not to the branches of government, not to the politicians run by corporations. We are the root, we are the foundation, this generation. It is up to us to take care of this planet. It is our only home. We must globally warm our hearts and change the climate of our souls and realize that we are not apart from nature, we are a part of nature, and to betray nature is to betray us. To save nature is to save us, because whatever you're fighting for, racism or poverty, feminism, gay rights, or any type of equality, it won't matter in the least, because if we don't all work together to save the environment, we will be equally extinct. So, hey guys.
Such a powerful video. The future generation will not know what are trees, what are oceans, what are clean rivers, what are certain species of animals. So that compassion is not only towards beings and causes, compassion is towards the entire nature environment today, because we are destroying it at a very, very massive pace without knowing also. You know, there was a video which came out, I don't know whether you saw, it's a small video, viral video it was. A person is locked inside a room. For the first 2 days, he has all the basic amenities, food, water, everything is there. Slowly, after some time, the food is taken away. The person has only some water left. The bed is there, water is there. After some time, that water is made dirty. And the person can't drink water. The bed is taken away. And in place of the bed, plastic bottles are put. Like that they keep doing for 7 days. At the end of 7th day, that person can't live there. Because whatever human being is doing today to nature, that they did it to that person in that one small room. And he said, if you cannot live for 7 days, what is going to be the whole, future? And so many animals, plants, birds are going through this. Even human beings are going through it. So compassion manifests through sensitivity. So daya bhuteshu aloluktvam, non-craving, where one is not fickle, hungry for sense pleasures and constantly chasing sense pleasures. Madhavam is gentleness in handling things. Mridu means gentle. So not to be hard, not to be harsh, not to keep things enough in a very hasty manner, and many times we even do that with people. How carefully we use objects, not throw them, bang them. Same thing with people. So gentleness in our thoughts, in our behavior, Mardhavam Hrihi. Hri is modesty. To be modest, to be humble, feeling of shame to do something prohibited. And when we have done something great, to be modest about that. That is Hri. Hri is modesty. And Achapalam. Achapalam is lack of fickleness. Chapal is fickle, Achapalam is lack of fickleness, so steadiness. So being steady in one's decisions, not to waver, be committed and be steadfast in that. So that the more indecision is there, there is more stress in one's life, more unpredictability, and more people are tentative. They won't trust us because what we say, what we do suddenly changes. So to build trust, to build goodwill, to build confidence, one must have steadiness. That is verse number 2. More we will take up in our next class. We are having Geeta chanting classes which are happening, so if anybody would like to learn, especially the 18th chapter is what is the chapter this year for the Geeta chanting competition. So Sujata ji is taking a class 2:45 to 3:45 on Thursdays in the afternoon at our Chinmaya nursery, Kem's Corner, Chinmaya nursery. If anybody would like to learn the Geeta chanting, please, you are welcome to join. There's a free classes.